Good morning, folks. This video is to teach you how to make fried okra with a very good buttermilk coating and also using some white cornmeal. We did not have available to us yellow cornmeal. We could have made some with the high-powered blender that we have and chopped it up and made the yellow cornmeal with popcorn, but this is going to be fine. Also want to show you the quality of the okra that we have from our fresh garden, and I already have the okra pieces chopped up and ready to go, but pre-made we need to make the dressing or the breading that we're going to use for the okra before we fry it. I want to mention that when you're frying okra, you should have a good basket that you can put down into the oil. And you never want to crowd your okra, because if you do, then it sticks together and you don't have a good quality. I mentioned earlier in a video that I made my own buttermilk. And I did that by 4 tablespoons of milk, that is powdered milk, and 2 teaspoons full of vinegar. That way you can make your own homemade buttermilk, and I will be showing you that a little bit later. I also have my flour ready. I have my salt, of course salt, and then of course I have the garlic salt available, and some coarse ground pepper, and other things that I have available. But first of all, I want to make the liquid for the breading. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 tablespoons. Now, if you'll notice, this is a teaspoon, and because I'm a poor missionary, I don't have a good set of tablespoons and teaspoons and things yet, but later on I will get that. So what I want to do is open up my buttermilk mix, and I'm going to stir it a little bit, and I'm going to take, because I said 4 teaspoons or tablespoons, I'm going to take 1, 2, that makes a full tablespoon, and so I'm going to make another one, that's 2 tablespoons, and then I want to make 1 more tablespoon, a total of 3 tablespoons of the buttermilk. Set that aside, and then I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of flour. This is a good high quality, matter of fact, this is gold medal flour, and the flour does make a difference. So if you go down and you buy some like Jolly Time, whatever, the quality is not there. So I'm going to take again, and it's just a matter of measurement. This is 1 teaspoon, and I take another one, that's 1 tablespoon, there's another teaspoon, and 1 more makes 2 tablespoons of the flour. Okay, now that mixed together, and I'm going to add the salt, and the salt actually you can do the flavor after you actually fry it and sprinkle some salt over the top of it, but the recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon, so it's not a lot, it's approximately that much right there. Okay, and so I'm going to put that into my batter, and then I will set that aside, and I'm also going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of this very good quality garlic salt. Gives it a really nice flavor, and so I will open it up and I attempt to get that. Just a little bit of this, and it's brand new, so it doesn't have the opening like I wanted, so I'm going to, there we go. Now I will dip down in there and get about that much. It's about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and put that in there. Close this back up to keep the moisture out. And then of course the next thing that we want to do is add the pepper. Now normally, I want to show you another quality of pepper that I put earlier in the video. We have 2 kinds. We have a very coarse, a fine grind black pepper, and then we have a very coarse, fine grind of white pepper. and it's just whatever you want to use. Both of them have the same flavor, but one of course doesn't have the coloring in it. Now, so I want to take the black pepper and I'm just going to shake some in there. That's approximately all I need right there. So now you're going to see that it just barely covers the flour that I put in there. Now this is the batter. I will tell you that what I'm making right now is not enough batter for the amount of okra that I have prepared, because this is for about 1.5 cupful of okra that has been sliced. So I have approximately 4 cups or more already made, because we're going to have a big dinner today. So now what I'm going to do is stir this together, and I will see what kind of batter that it will become. As you can see, it's getting thick, and it's very thick. That's good. And so now what I'm going to do is, once I've done that, is I'm going to actually take the buttermilk now, and I'm going to add more, because I want a batter. I don't want a paste. So I'm going to add a little more of this in there, and we'll stir it up until and make the paste go down into the buttermilk. And you can see it's already beginning to make a little bit of a better batter. Okay? And after you practice this a little bit, you'll learn that, hey, you know, you can make your own batters and save a lot of money from going to the store and buying already prepared okra. So, of course, the best okra is a very firm okra, and if you can get it from your own garden, that's even better, because it doesn't have all of the preservatives and the chemicals on it. So, I've made this, and it's approximately just a thick, it just kind of slides off of the spoon like that. That's the way I want it. And so, now, I will later on, after we will add to this video, I will actually dip some of the okra into the batter and put it into a tray of our white cornmeal. That breads it. And then immediately I will put it into a hot oil. Now, if my cameraman will come over here, I will show you how I would like to fry it. So, we have one of the most best type of instruments to use. This vessel is actually called a Dutch oven. And it's made by Lodge, which is one of the oldest companies in the, well, it's actually the oldest cast iron company in America. And we have our oil already in here. And we will set this at 375 degrees. So this is electronic, so I can turn on my dill and set it to fry. And then I will set it at 320 to 400, so I will set it at 400. When I get ready to fry, I will turn it down just a little bit so that it doesn't burn the okra. Thank you.